Okay, guys, we are live on YouTube, and then let me go live on TikTok. Okay, so we are live on TikTok as well. So we're going to be talking about the Packers offseason, preseason, the game, and then also Jordan Love's injury, and then just pretty much what we're gonna expect from the Packers, what we like, what we didn't like about the offseason, things like that. So we ended last year with 22-10 loss. And then after that, off season started. And what do you remember from off season?
So long ago.
Or what do you remember that you liked and didn't like about off season?
Is this pre-draft?
Do what?
Is you talking pre-draft?
I can't hear you.
Pre-draft?
Yeah.
Pre-draft? Um, trying
So
to trying to remember what some of the things that happened. Let's just start with the obvious, the Jair, the releasing of Jair. I'm gonna start with that one.
mhm.
I wasn't as mad as a lot of people were. I think you were a little bit more upset about it than I was. I personally wasn't. Like, yeah, I think Jair is a great player, great corner. One of my favorite. He was one of my favorite players. Um, but when we released him, I wasn't as mad as a lot of people. Past few years, I mean, his injuries have hindered him now. Whether that's his fault, training status fault, I don't know. But I mean, last year we had a pretty good defense, and he didn't play at all, really. So I wasn't like I thought with this Halfley defense, if we can get pressure with the front four, I think that would help our corner. So I wasn't as upset about that release as everybody else. That was one main things that happened this offseason.
Yeah.
Another one would be stay on the thing would be the Nate Hobbs signing. I mean, okay, cool. It wasn't that free agent splash was.
We're definitely better with him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially from what I heard in camp that he was doing before he got injured. Like he was that toughness that we needed, that defense needed. It seemed like, but it wasn't like a big name splash or whatever.
I think the only big name splash was Aaron Banks.
Yeah, and we'll see how that goes because
Yeah.
he's. I know we're going to talk about injuries, and he was one of the ones that got hurt like the first week of camp. So
Yeah. Well, another good news going in the draft, because I mean, let's be real, there was nothing to cheer about in that preseason game, but I did see a stat that really stood out to me. Belton, our second round draft pick this year at O line, he played 41 snaps and had zero pressures. That's very impressive. I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie, I think that's very impressive.
Jordan Morgan too. He didn't have zero pressures
At left tackle.
at
Yeah,
left
he had
tackle. Yeah,
too. Yeah. So
so
yeah, that's two good things. I think it's very good that we got that from Jordan Morgan. I mean, he's a first round pick. We've been waiting for it. The only thing that concerns me about Morgan is they still don't know where to put him. Dude, at this point, just leave him at left tackle until he proves you wrong. Like, I think like
over
you got.
Rashid Walker.
Well, I mean, I'm okay with them going back and forth, but I
Oh,
mean,
okay, okay.
Rashid is known for a lot of flags, so yeah, if Rashid starts acting up in that category, yeah, throw in Morgan. I think Jacob Monk too had a terrible preseason game. I think he was last year's draft pick too in the later rounds. But like Belton and Morgan, yeah, like we got to see something from you guys because I mean Belton's a second round pick, Morgan's first round pick from last year, so and which we did, so that's good. Um, and then I think
Zach Tom got that big contract this offseason.
yeah, he got the bag for sure. Well deserved. He's our best offensive lineman, if you ask me.
And
Um,
even though he got worked on preseason, he did get worked a couple times that preseason game.
yeah, maybe
But
that money got to him, but I think he'll be all right. I think he'll be all
yeah, no,
right.
I do too. I do too. I'm just saying, like, he was one of the ones I noticed in that game that he kind of got worked a little bit.
Yeah, Sean Ryan got worked a little bit too. I think that strip sack fumble and the end zone can't happen. Of course it happens every now and then, but that can't happen. And like Malik too, like Malik, I think he needs to do a little bit better than like feeling the pressure. I think like he's a great backup, but like he just needs to feel that pressure. Besides that, I mean, I think Malik is gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And then so yeah, let's try to keep it like more like recent. Let's talk about recent stuff. If it goes back to the past, it'll go back to the past. But so let's touch on Jordan Love's injury. I think we talked about it when you texted me earlier. Like we both didn't even know the guy was hurt. And
Like I
then,
saw something yesterday that they taped it up or something, but then this morning or this afternoon, whenever I saw it, that he had a procedure done on it to get the ligaments fixed. I was like, "What the heck?"
yeah,
I didn't even know. Like,
yeah, and it makes me wonder if he does play week one. Where I mean, are you gonna put him under center? Or are you gonna put him in shotgun most of the time? So like,
yeah. Well, from what Gutekunst said today was he should be back out there next week practicing again. That they're probably, of course, he's probably not gonna play in any other the preseason games, but he should be out there practicing again by next week. But he'll probably next week, I would assume, be in a lot of shotgun a lot of shotgun next week in practice. I would assume they would start putting them under center until maybe that last week of training camp or whatever.
yeah,
Just to test, because you got to be able to test it out, because you can't go into the season not being able to be under center.
yeah.
So but that's what Goody said, that he should be back next week practicing.
Yeah, hopefully. It's just very unfortunate, man. Because I watched the replay and I'm like, supposedly I heard from one person and one person only, he got stepped on. But I looked at the replay. I was like, I didn't see the step, so I don't know where that came from. It looked like he just tried to, like, he was on his knees and he tried to catch herself with her hands and his thumb.
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know, man, but like if you're gonna get hurt like that all the time, I mean, I don't know, man. It's kind of a red flag. Like, is it just a one-time thing, or like is he gonna be dealing with injuries long term? Like, it's tough to deal with. But like I said, thumb, I'm not gonna be too worried about it for now, at least. It's his non-throwing hand, so we'll see. But if I hear that it's affecting him in the season, I'll be honest. I kind of don't want to see him out there then, because I mean, if he's going to be a quarterback that's always getting injured, why are you going to have him out there injured playing? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. So I mean, but we'll see. Supposedly his knee is fine now, so I haven't heard anything bad about the knee. Supposedly that healed up during the offseason, and then now he's dealing with his thumb. So I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to be cause concerned of. Like I said, he'll be out there week one. Yeah, this injury prone. I don't know if he's injury prone, because I mean, yeah, he got hurt last season, but the season before he was healthy. So he only has.
Well, see, someone said that he got injured in his first year too, but I was like, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, people got to realize, players. Everybody's hurt in the football season. If they play football, like, everybody's going to be hurt. So he probably had some type of nagging injury, or probably on the injury report at some point.
Yeah.
But I would say last year was his first. Like, that was a significant injury. I mean, when he came back, they downplayed it the whole time, saying, "No, I'm out there playing. I got to play better. This and that, this and that." Well, come out this after the season. Of course, they said, "Oh yeah, the knee was a bother to him. Probably came back too soon." Right. So, which we kind of all said that last season, right? When he came back. So I consider that to be his injury season. Yeah. And like I said, we'll see with this thumb. We can't say this thumb is going to be like, he might come out week one slinging the rock, and then we're not even talking about his thumb anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So it's too early to kind of put that on him, I think.
Yeah. All right. So let's dive a little bit deeper into the preseason game, because some things I definitely want to touch on. I heard someone say, if you're a Packers fan and you have the mindset, oh, it's just preseason, and you compare that mindset to another Packers fan who watches this game and says, yo, there's a lot to be concerned about. He says that both of those Packer fans they're both right. There's no right or wrong. Like, yes, it's just preseason. Yes, there's a lot to be concerned about. It's just a matter of what side you want to be on. He's like, but technically no one's wrong in that case. And I kind of agree with that. But kind of going back to like, the only reason why I'm concerned is because we came out flat a lot of times last year, and then you're doing it again this year. And the sucky thing about playing a division game in week 1 is if you lose, you're already 2 games behind. You lost, and then you got the tiebreaker. So like you're already 2 games behind the Lions if we don't come out and win week 1. And that's a big hole to overcome, especially if the Lions continue to prove that they're good. So I mean, yeah, we definitely got to clean up some stuff, man. One thing that I didn't like that a lot of people are not talking about is our play calling is still atrocious, man. Like I think, and like I don't know if you noticed this, but like I'll bring it up. But like the very first drive of the game, Jordan Love does a good job at drawing them off sides, and it's 1st and 5. 3 plays, Andrew, we couldn't even get 5 yards. And like I think on the 1st and 5, we had Jacobs. We had Jacobs at running back, and we don't run the ball. We throw a little 4-yard curl to Dobbs, which wasn't a bad play call. It wasn't bad execution. I think Sauce Gardner last minute stuck his hand in there and knocked it out. I know a lot of people are saying that's a drop. I think it's just a good defensive play. I think if Sauce Gardner doesn't stick his hand in there, Dobbs catches that ball. To me, a drop is Malik Heath in the flat with no one on him, dropping the ball. And then McCole Hardman running that out route for a 1st down, and it hits him in the hands and goes out of bounds. Like, those are drops. I think Dobbs was more of a good defensive play by Sauce Gardner. He popped it out. And, I mean, we saw Jair do that a lot of times to wide receivers. That's why Jair, people think he's good and stuff like that. I mean, but, like, my issue is, like, so we didn't run the ball on 1st and 5 with Jacobs, which I don't understand why. Run it down their throat, 1st and 5. But then Brooks comes in on 2nd down and 5, and we run the ball with Brooks, but not Jacobs. I'm like, why, bro? And Brooks picks up 4 yards. And then I'm like, why not run it on 31? Instead, we run a slant to Dobbs, and Sauce Gardner's all over it. And I'm just like, okay, well, there's that, right? And then later on in the game, we're running the ball on 2nd and 30. Like, what the fuck are we doing, dude? Like,
well, I can answer. I can answer this. I can definitely answer these questions. So, and because I know the guy you're talking about, Andy Herman, he said about both parties are right. It's just preseason, but you have cause of concern. Going into people also got to realize going into preseason games, the coaches are not game planning for the New York Jets or whoever they're playing it. They are trying to work out different plays, right, for different situations. So they might not necessarily be game planning for that Jets defense. They're going to be game planning. Okay, let's see how this play works out in this type of scenario. So those pass plays, yes, in the real game they might run it on 1st and 5, 9 times out of 10. But they're like, let's see what we can do on these type of pass plays. That's what preseason's for, is to work out plays and the structure of things rather than trying to win the. Like I said, I don't think teams are actually trying to win the game. Well, I shouldn't say trying to win. Let me take that back. There should at least be fight, and we didn't even see that. No, I agree. I see. This is where I agree with you on the cause of concern, because I do agree with both. I'm one of those people like, it's just preseason, but I do see the penalties are gonna been the issue. Last year, they were issued this preseason game. So that tells me that we haven't grown since last season, even though, like I said, this is the first one. So we got to see. The drops were another issue. Like I said, the play call, I wouldn't really tune in on the play calling per se. I was just trying to see what we were doing and how we were executing. The execution, I agree, was awful. Like I said, the play call, I wasn't really, like I said, that's not what I'm looking at during preseason. I'm more looking at the fact of, okay, what is the play call and how do we execute that play call? And I do agree the execution of the play calls were not the best. So like another issue I have is, I mean, how many times you tell me last year the Jets are going to jet, right? Bears are going to bear. Okay, how does a Jet team with the first new head coach who has never been a head coach ever before come in and have his player more prepared than Matt LaFleur? To me, that's an issue, man. I'm like,
plus you're at home too. And yes, it's preseason. I get that, guys. But like that shouldn't be happening, is what I'm saying. Like, why is Aaron Glenn have his guys prepared and you don't, LaFleur? Like, this is year what for LaFleur? 7, 6? And
I think.
I was like, bro, and look, Andrew, I was not mad until I heard him talking to the media after the game. That's when I got mad because it's the same thing as last year. He says the same exact thing as last year. And I'm like, hell nah, bro. We ain't doing that again, man. Like, no, Matt, like take some responsibility, take some accountability. Like, there was times where in the game Matt LaFleur made a comment. He's like, oh, well, there was flags on both sides. I'm like, yeah, but the Jets were ranked number 1 in penalties last year. That's why they're the Jets. Like, you're not supposed to match them and say, oh, they did the same thing. No, bro, you're supposed to be an example of a good team. And like, I just don't feel like we're there yet. And I feel like we're kind of beating around the bushes. And I'm like, dude, it's preseason. Let's call it out now. Because, dude, you got the Lions week 1, bro. And then I think our first 5 weeks, first 6 weeks, the only easy team on there is maybe the Browns. And, that's an away game, so you can get upset at that. But everyone else, it's going to be a tough game, bro. And I'm like, dude, you got to get your shit together, man. And, like, I just didn't like that we just sweeping it under the rug. I'm like, no, bro. Like, that was terrible football, bro.
Okay, so let me ask you this real quick, since we're on the Matt LaFleur thing. Because I had this thought yesterday, and I wanted to ask you on here. You've been on the Matt LaFleur on the hot seat for the past maybe year now, right?
Oh,
you kind of been like on that, like Matt LaFleur got to. You kind of.
I know you're not gonna like it, but
Are you on the fire Matt LaFleur train?
I am.
Okay, so you're on that train. I'm not there yet.
Which I think is fair. I think it's okay. It's okay.
And I will tell you when I will be there. When I will start going to that station. If we do come out week 1 against the Lions and we do have these same issues as far as penalties, straw passes, players are not looking like they're coming. If we come out week 1, I will be closer to that train. I won't be on the train, but I will be close to it. At the moment, I'm not on it right now because I say that. At what point do we? Yes, we need to blame coach, but at what point do we need to blame the players as well? Because
let me give you a good. Okay, so this is my take on LaFleur. After last season ended, I had 1 foot in, 1 foot out. After the first preseason game, I'm all out. And I told myself, I'd rather go into the season saying, LaFleur, prove me wrong, instead of supporting him. At this point, you got to prove me wrong, because after 6 years, I already know what I'm going to get with you, bro. And I believe when someone shows you who they are, you believe them. And I think LaFleur is a great person. I think he's a good guy. But can he take the Packers to a Super Bowl? At this point, I no longer think so. So that's why I'm off. Now, I got off after the preseason game because, like I said, when I heard him talking to the media, I said, is this going to be a trend? Are you going to be saying this in the regular season as well? Because we heard it last year. When are we going to hear something different? When are we going to see you pull a guy off the field because he has 3 holding penalties in the past 2 drives? When am I going to see you yank him off the field? I guess it's preseason, and that's why But like my thing is, he's already shown you what he's doing with his opportunity. Get someone else in there. Like, let them get their reps, and then maybe throw him back in later on in the game. But like, we didn't do that. And I'm like, okay, we getting mad. All the fans are getting mad at the drops, but LaFleur's not. LaFleur's not. He's still keeping them in there. And I'm like, dude, how are you going to make these players? Because that's when you say, we're going to blame it on the players. Dude, Matt LaFleur doesn't even blame it on the players. He just says, we got to be better. How many times has he said, if they don't want to catch the ball, they're going to sit next to me? And it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So, like, that's why, like, I'm like, Matt, like, you got to have some, like, be a coach, bro. And like if you rip a player and then all of a sudden he disrespects you, fuck that player, bro. Fuck that player. Like, no, like call him out. And I want to give you do you remember we played the Bears last year? Last game?
Yeah.
Okay. This is another reason I'm gonna share with you why I'm off the LaFleur train. We were down by 2 in that game with 149 left. The Bears were driving, and our defense created a turnover. No, we created a turnover in Chicago's territory with a minute and 49 seconds left. We have 3 timeouts, and the Bears only have 1. So let me go through the scenario how that went, Andrew, because I saw it today. First down on the Chicago 46. First down, a little dump pass for 6 yards. Okay, the clock is rolling. Do you know, and the Bears have 1 timeout, they choose not to use it. Do you know we hiked the ball on second down with 30 seconds left on the play clock? Why? So we hiked the ball with 30 seconds left on the play clock. We run it for another 2 yards, so we have 3rd and 2 coming up. The Bears continue to not use the timeout. And on 3rd down, we run it for a loss of yardage, but we're hiking the ball at 20 seconds left on the play clock. So that's 50 seconds we could have taken off. And when we hiked it on 3rd down, there was 106 left. So, and it gets worse, Andrew. We run the ball, we lose yardage, and then do you know what we do after that? We call timeout. We stop the clock for the Bears. McManus kicks a go-ahead field goal, leaves Williams over a minute left to go, and he drives down and gets a game-winning field goal. And everyone says, oh, our defense can't come in clutch. No, that is on the floor, bro. That is on the floor. Would you agree or disagree?
No, I mean, yeah, that's bad clock management for sure.
Yeah,
I think we said it at the time.
Terrible, and that's another reason why I'm off. I'm like, dude, at this point, you just got to prove me wrong, man. Like, I've tried, but I can't no more, man. And let me be real. Like, I think he can only do as best as what Gutekunst gives him. But like even Gutekunst, man, besides the Malik Willis trade, I haven't seen anything flashy either. So I'm not gonna get into Gutekunst right now, though. But that's my thoughts on LaFleur, bro. And at this point, as much as I like LaFleur, I'll be the first one to say, like, if we go 13-4 at the end of the regular season, Andrew, and you'd be like, hey, do you kind of regret what you said earlier in the year? I'll probably say yeah, because we 13-4. But I don't know, man. I think this team has a long way to go from what I saw in the preseason. And
okay, so on staying on the LaFleur topic, what do you think would cause Matt LaFleur not to come back as a Packers head coach?
For sure, missing the playoffs. For sure.
I think I agree with that.
And I would.
Do you think getting into the playoffs and losing it again the first round, you think he saves the job? I think he does.
That would be wild to me because kind of like you said, you know what we gonna get first round.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, I don't know. I mean, I might at the end of the season, I might not necessarily agree with that, but I just think with the way since Ed Policy just came in, I think if he does make the playoffs, he will somehow keep his job. Now, I agree. So, what's the bare minimum for you for him, Matt LaFleur, to keep his job? Is it Super Bowl or bust?
No, that's asking too much. I think
NFC championship game.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, because I think the NFL put out their rankings. Green Bay's number 5, and Green Bay's number 2 in the NFC. The only person they had above us was the Eagles, and then the other 3 teams were AFC, I think. So the NFL has us at 5, and like I said, I think we're a good team. I just think a lot of the stuff that if we're going to sit here and say we're doing the same mistakes over and over, wouldn't you think the best thing is to have someone else in there? I mean, have someone else in there. I mean, how long are you going to sit there and watch a Malik Heath drop a ball? Like, how long? That's my question. Like, how long are you? I mean, and that's one thing I wanted to bring up with you too. I think the Packers are very known for wasting too much time on things that don't work. So, for example, I'll give you some examples. Wasted too much time on Amari Rogers, gave that guy way too many chances. Wasted too much time on Joe Barry, gave him way too many chances. Wasted too much time on not drafting an offensive weapon in the first round. Finally got that this year. But to be honest, I only think we did it because it was in Green Bay. You know damn well if they would have said offensive lineman, there would have been boos at that fucking draft. There would have been boos.
Oh,
huh?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So like we can argue that that's the only reason why they did it. And like I'm just like, we waste too much time on things that don't work. How much more time are we going to waste on LaFleur? Like I said, the good news about LaFleur is he still has time to prove people wrong. That's the good news. But I think there's going to come a time where he doesn't, bro. And Andrew, if we're being honest, every coach in the NFL is on the verge of getting fired. Every single one of them. They're on the verge of getting fired. But Matt doesn't act like it. He acts like his job is secure forever. And I just want to see that fire, bro. Show me the fire. Like, hey, like my job's on the line, so I'm going to make sure this works. Like, that's
so you want to see it in the media, I think. Because we don't know what happens in practice. With you talk about having him hold guys accountable, right? Sending them down, calling them out. I don't necessarily think he should call players out in the media. I don't think that will build up the chemistry. Mm-hmm. But because you got to think about, I don't know if you saw like early in the training camp, Rasheed Walker did something. We still don't know what he did, or at least I didn't see anything. He did something, and Matt LaFleur made him run laps. And then you saw you heard Josh Jacobs, Tucker Kraft go run laps with Rasheed and whatever. So he must have did something that Matt didn't like and made him run laps. I saw the other day, was it yesterday, Sunday, or was it yesterday's first day of practice? Yeah. Matt had the guys do push-ups for their performance after the preseason game. So, I mean, those are showing me like he cares. But again, we don't know what happens in and out of practice. Like, today, media was available at practice, so we didn't really know what goes on. Now, if you're saying like his passion as far as the media, I can see that. I mean, he does give very generic answers and very basic answers and the same answers. I do agree with that. Like I said, I'm not on. Like I said, I know you're on that bandwagon, or on that not bandwagon, but that train. I'm not there yet, and I mean, I agree. Like, and to be honest with you, I know we're probably going to get into it here in a little bit, but I think we're going to be a really good team. I'm usually skeptical Packer fan going into the season. I'm actually feeling pretty good this season. Now,
yeah, I mean, so am I. I mean,
like,
but let's be real, Andrew. We got to stay healthy, bro.
That's what I was going to touch on. Was I was happy going into the season. I was hyped, especially after the draft. Going into the season, but like I said, all these injuries that started popping up. We had a deep receiver. Like, I didn't know how many. I was like, man, we have so many receivers that who's going to get cut? Like, who's going to be on this team as far as a receiver? Right now, it seems like everybody's hurt on the receiving corps.
Yeah.
Right. You got Romeo got hurt today.
Yeah.
But Jaden Reed was in a walking boot. Savion Williams has been hurt. Mm-hmm. Luke Musgrave got hurt today. Who else? Is that it? Is all the receivers right now that got hurt?
I think that's it.
Oh, no. Dontavian Wicks has been out the whole camp with the calf.
Yeah.
He's been out with the whole so he hasn't really been.
On top of that, you got McKinney out.
You got Nate Hobbs.
You got Hobbs out. Those are, I mean, damn, dude. Like, imagine going into week one with all those guys, without those guys.
Yeah. No. And I don't think we are. I think they're all going to be there.
Yeah. They should be. Damn.
Yeah. Just based off the reports, I think they're all going to be there. So I'm not really worried about that. But yeah, it's a little, like I said, I'm not worried, a little concerned, not worried yet. Like, my worry meter is not there. It's a little concerning, but I'm like, yeah. Because you want those guys out there practicing.
Let me ask you this, because I do think I jump on certain trains faster than you. I think. But so let me ask you this: if the Packers come out flat week one, what's going to be your reaction?
Oh, if they come out flat and have these same mistakes, like I said, I'm going to inch towards that train station with you. I'm like, okay, Matt, let's go. I won't be on the train, but I will start heading my way to that train station. If they come out week one.
whenever you jump on that train, if you do jump on that train, now let's get into Gutekunst a little bit. Do you think Goody should go with them, or do you think he should stay? Because okay, look, let me share something with you too, because we can admit that Gutekunst has a lot of things he has to worry about, but the main one is the draft, right? We can agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know that the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year with the cheapest defense?
Yeah, because they drafted good players.
They drafted Mitchell, they drafted Cooper DeJean, they drafted Carter. Those are all like I think one second and third year guys. I don't know, and they have the cheapest defense, and they won. Cooper DeJean we passed over. Every Packers fan wanted him. We passed him over. We passed him over not once but twice. No, actually, the Eagles took him early in the second round before we made our second draft pick. But still, like we passed them, and that's where I'm like, okay, they have the cheapest defense. We there was a time where we had 11 first rounders or 9 first round starters on our defense, and we still didn't look that great as a defense. So that's my issue with Gutekunst. I'm like, we know he's not the best at drafting. We know he's not the best. I don't think he's the worst. But my thing is, what's your mindset when you draft, bro? I feel like it's too much draft them and develop. No, a first rounder is supposed to play, in my opinion. I'm not saying he has to be great, but he should play. I think he should play. And then I think what's that guy's name on I forgot his name, but he was at the draft and he goes, if these guys draft an offensive lineman, I'm gonna throw this mic. And
off of Pat McAfee.
Yeah, off Pat McAfee. And then he made another good quote. He said, "Oh, Jordan Morgan to play just 3 games? Hell no! Don't give me that again in the first round." And I agree with that. I agree 100%. I was like, "No, dude, like that's not what a first rounder's for." And I mean, like, I kind of even think drafting a first round quarterback and making him sit for 4 years, I would borderline think that's kind of crazy also. But I mean, I can't speak down on it because it's worked for the Packers. But let's be real, other positions, not really. Yeah. I mean, and I feel like, well, what could have happened if they did give Aaron Rodgers 1 or 2 more offensive weapons? What could have happened, right? But we can't speak highly about that because we'll never know. But that's my point. Like my point is like the Eagles had the cheapest defense, yet they went out and won the Super Bowl, and I'm just like, Gutekunst, what are you trying to do? Because clearly you can see that the Eagles are trying to win the Super Bowl, but the Packers, I'm like, what's your mindset? Because you're not drafting players to play, especially your first and second rounders. You don't really care if they play. On top of that, Matt LaFleur is continuing to be a wild card team, and he's still having his job. So I'm like, I don't understand what's the mindset, what's the goal in Green Bay right now. I thought it was always Super Bowl. But I don't know. Like, I'm a little lost right now. Like, I don't really know what we're doing.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point. I think it's a fair point. I do, like I said, I'm a little bit more. Again, we're on a little bit different spectrums. I'm not as harsh on Gutekunst. Like, I do agree. Like, and this is even before Gutekunst. So you got to think, even before Brian was here,
I know
it was them too. So we can't always say like this has been an issue since Brian got here, right?
No, I agree.
So I'm not as hard. Like, I do agree that I think he does draft to develop instead of drafting the best player available, right? A lot of times, I do agree with that. And at that point, I'm with all Packer fans. Like, yes, like why did it take us this long to get a skilled position in the first round? Right? We were all calling for Cooper DeJean last year, like you said. Like, why did all the fans see it, but the professionals didn't see it, maybe they did see it, but they thought, oh, we don't need that position for whatever reason, right?
Because I mean, there was a time when it might have looked like that because we went into Dallas and beat them, and you had Dobbs, you had Watson, like they're receivers you have to guard. Like, you can't just, oh no, they're scrubs. No, you got to guard them. But then I think like last year, I think teams were like, oh, we can play man against these guys. And no one was getting open. So maybe they saw, well, maybe we have to get a wide receiver because like we need like Watson. Well, Watson went out too. So that's another reason why I think they might have said, well, dang, are we really gonna pass up a wide receiver? Watson's gonna be out, and then on top of that, you can't bet money that another receiver is not gonna go down. So yeah, I'll be honest, I would have been a little shocked if they didn't pick a wide receiver in Green Bay.
I think the not picking offensive skill people like receivers and stuff in the first round is an Aaron Rodgers' fault, and I can tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Adams was not a first round pick, but he's one of the best receivers in the league. I think he became one of the best receivers in the league because he had Aaron Rodgers and some of those other guys before him to train him, right? Jordy Nelson was a sneaky underrated receiver, in my opinion, right? Think about all the times, all those touchdowns and receiving yards Jordy Nelson had with Aaron Rodgers. Nobody was thinking, oh my God, Jordy Nelson's the best receiver in the league. But I think Aaron Rodgers did make Jordy Nelson great as well. Same thing with James Jones and Greg Jennings. I mean, look, when James Jones went to Oakland or wherever, didn't really do much. When Greg Jennings went to Minnesota, didn't really do much. So yeah. I do think Aaron Rodgers, being as great as he was, made a lot of these receivers better than what people initially thought they could be, right? And so I think that could be a little reason why, like, they think, okay, we can just get any second, third round receiver, and our quarterback's going to make that receiver.
Yeah, well,
good. And I don't know if Jordan's that guy. I mean, he might be in the future, but I don't know.
Well, so
now you got to go get star players.
So I have a couple of issues with that. Like, I agree that Greg Jennings wasn't the same. And I think Jordy Nelson, I think he even gets to prove himself in a different uniform because he got hurt, I think, in the preseason. But Devontae still did good on the Raiders with Derek Carr. I think he still put up big numbers. He still put up big numbers. And he made like hella catches when he was with fucking Las Vegas. Like, oh, damn, some of the catches he made. And then now, I mean, I think he's going to tear it up with the Rams too, if I'm being honest. But
for sure. But you got to think about it. He was like, what, a second, third round pick? And
let me get to that. So let me get to that, because then it comes time for him to get paid, and the Packers don't want to pay him. And then that's another issue with me, that you're letting people walk out of Green Bay. It's not like Devontae said, I want out of Green Bay. No, you're letting people walk. Like, you're being like another Jerry Jones. Oh, I ain't gonna pay you right now. What do you want? That? Nah. And I'm just like, you not only did you let him walk away, but your replacement for him was Romeo Doubs. And I'm just like, it got to be a little bit better than that. If you're gonna let Devontae walk away, you got to do something better than that, man. And then you hear Gutekunst say, "Oh, everyone says it's a rebuild year. No, we're here to win the Super Bowl." But then you go out and your best receiver is Romeo Doubs that year, and you can argue it was Christian Watson, but Christian Watson didn't come alive until mid-season. And I'm just like we let Devontae walk away. We released Jair, but the Jair issue, I kind of understand. But Devontae, bro, he bled green and gold better than anyone except maybe Rodgers during that span when he was on Green Bay. So I'm like, how do you not pay the guy? How do you just let him walk? Like, to me, and I understand our cap space wasn't as great back then as it is now, but like, kind of goes back to what you say. Well, since he's a third round pick, maybe they don't want to pay him because that's first round money. Like, but my thing is, the guy still proved himself. Like, you're letting star wide receivers go, and then he wastes all of his talent in Las Vegas when it could have been in Green Bay with another NFC championship for the next 2 or 3 years. And like that's my issue about the whole thing. But then, like, you don't want to pay Devontae, but you'll pay a Rashawn Gary. Like, to me, bro, that don't make no sense, bro. That don't make no sense.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think the Devontae was a little steep for price. I mean, I would have, as a fan, I would have paid him, right? Not my money, really, but
paid Devondre Campbell. Come on, dude. Like, I mean, how do you pay him Gary. How do you pay those guys but don't pay Devontae? Like that's just wild to me, bro. And we got Bridget in the chat. What's up, girl? But yeah, like stuff like that, man. Stuff like that makes me like kind of maybe Gutekunst ain't the guy either, you know. But I will admit though, Gutekunst's job isn't easy. I'll admit that it's not easy. But at the same time, I think it's something that you could get better at year in and year out, and I would at least like to see that.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not on like any of those trains yet. Like I said, give me the week one. Like I said, if we come out week one, and let's say we come out week one, we lose the game, but we don't look flat. We don't look like we don't have the mistakes, or we just lose because maybe Detroit is a better team than us right now, right? I can do that, right?
What?
Like if we come out week one and we lose to Detroit, but we don't look flat, huh? What?
But we don't look flat. But even though we're at home, you okay with it?
Because we don't look flat, we don't do penalties, we're not drops. They just outplayed us and that just lets you know at the moment they're the better team.
Andrew, if we don't look flat, we don't drop passes, we play a good football game, we're not losing. That's the thing. We're not losing.
Okay, and I agree, but like things happen in football to where the team outplays you, right? I mean, think about a lot of these games, especially that offense. If our defense can't stop their offense, then yeah, that would be concerning. But I don't think that's just them outplaying us, right? If we don't do any of those things and they still end up winning somehow, right? I won't be on that train yet, right? Near that train. But like I said, it has to be. We come out looking flat. We come out with penalties, drop passes, broken coverage, or whatever the case may be. It has to be those things, and we lose.
Hey, thank you for that, Jason. Appreciate you, big guy. Hey, so I was looking at something. Now I want to talk to you about something as well. I joined a live the other day. It was talking about, is Jordan Love a top 10 quarterback? So what I did, I went through a list of all the quarterbacks, and I saw Jordan. When I ranked them, I had Jordan Love exactly at 10, but I could also argue that
11,
that he would be 11. Yes.
That's kind of where I'm like in that same boat. He could be 10 or 11. Because when you said that, I was just thinking the quarterbacks off the top of my head really fast. I was like, he's not better than that guy at the moment. He's not better than that guy at the moment. He's not better than that guy at the moment. I can see him 10 or 11.
I think there's a very good argument for 11, but there's a reason why I don't have him there at 11. But like another thing I wanted to look at too, do you know, Andrew, I was looking at something. You can make an argument, and it wouldn't be a valid argument because Ben Johnson hasn't proved himself yet, but you can make an argument that LaFleur is the worst coach in our division. And I would say the only reason why you can't say that officially right now is because Ben Johnson hasn't proved himself.
But, yeah, I mean, because Dan Campbell, then
I would take the Vikings over Dan Campbell.
What's his name? God dang, I'm blanking on his name.
O'Donnell or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, there you go. Kevin O'Connell. Yeah, O'Donnell.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. He's probably third, and like you said, only because we don't know what Ben Johnson is as a head coach.
Yeah, and that like when I hear people say like, "Oh, I'm so high on LaFleur," I'm like, bro, he's not even top 2 in our division, bro. I think for sure 3, and the only reason why I'm putting him at 3 is because Ben Johnson hasn't proved himself. But I mean, what are we gonna say if Ben Johnson comes in year 1 and beats the pack 2 times? Like that's not good, bro.
Yeah, that's another thing. We cannot go
1-6 in the division.
And we should have been 0-7.
No, well, 0-6.
0-6. I mean, so we went 1-5.
Right. And see, my thing is, top 10 coaches don't go winless in their divisions. They just don't. Top 10 coaches, bro. Like, and that's scary, Andrew. And let's be honest, the people in our division, they're very good. They're very good. And I think Halfley is gonna have his hands full with a lot of these receivers this year.
Yeah. Well,
Melton,
and that's why I think we're going to be good this year, because I don't think we're going to happen. Because last year, the only reason we had a good record last year and we made the playoffs is because we had a cake schedule outside of our division.
yeah, I went through our wins and losses. The only game we lost that we should have won was the Chicago game. Besides that, all of our losses I think were against better teams. So that's good because before that, when we had Joe Barry, I felt like we were losing to teams that we shouldn't have been losing to. Like
Yeah.
like in Rogers last year, bro. Do you know we got blown out by a Jets team that had Zach Wilson at quarterback at home?
Yeah. Yeah.
At home, we got blown
Yeah.
out by Zach Wilson. And
Yeah.
then later in that year, we lost to the Washington Commanders, and they had Taylor Heineke as their quarterback. Like
Yeah.
that is just unacceptable, bro. And like that's another issue I got with LaFleur. Like, bro, that shouldn't be happening. And don't get me wrong, it's not all on LaFleur, but it makes LaFleur look bad, bro. Like you losing games that you shouldn't be losing. And I don't think top 10 coaches do that. I don't think good teams do that, if I'm being honest. Now, I don't expect us to win every game, but we got to be consistent. Like if we go out and just get flat for like 2 games out of the year, okay, that's fine. But like if it's a trend, Andrew, that's different, bro.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. And that's why I said we got to be better this year, and I think we will, because our schedule is a lot harder this year, it seems like.
So you think LaFleur keeps his job if we're a 7th seed? Do you think he keeps his job? Because I heard someone
I think if he makes the playoffs, he's going to keep it. I think. Now, like I said, I might be on at that point in time. I might be closer to that side. Like, okay, we got to switch things up. We got to make some changes. But I don't think Ed Policy, at least because he still has 2 years on his contract.
Yeah, he does.
So I don't think Ed Policy is going to, if they make the playoffs this year, like as a 7th seed, let's just say as a 7th seed, I don't think he's going to quote unquote fire Matt LaFleur after that season. I think he might let him play out the contract, his last year of his contract. But
do you think he fires them if they miss the playoffs?
I think so.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think they should do LaFleur the way they did McCarthy. No, I think he should at least finish the season regardless of how it goes. I don't think he should get fired mid-season like McCarthy. I think that's a little messed up. I honestly think at that time McCarthy deserved to finish the season, if I'm being honest. But I mean if the Packers did it to McCarthy, and they might do it to LaFleur too. But LaFleur would have to this team would have to be 3-6 or something like that, bro, for them to get rid of him mid-season or something like that. But I don't see that happening. I heard someone say any like a 6th seed or lower is a failure for the Packers this year. That I heard someone say that. And I think that's kind of where I draw it to, is the 6th seed, because if you're the 6th seed, you're not really getting better.
But okay, what if you're a 6th seed and you go to the NFC Championship or Super Bowl?
Okay,
No doubt. So like I said, I'm not. Yes, you want to win that division. You want to be a top seed, but if we do make the playoffs and we go on a run like we did when we won the Super Bowl, the seeding.
But see, that was a Packers team that was very aggressive, and you could see the fight. I think that's all I want to see is the fight, just the fight. Don't come out flat. Why are we praising? I hear people, oh, Jordan Love's gonna be a great quarterback. Do I think he can? Absolutely. But why are we praising a quarterback that only plays 2 quarters a game? He's flat in the first half, and then comes out in the second half and just balls. Why are we praising that kind of quarterback? No, dude, be consistent. That's what we want to see, because playing 2 quarters, I mean, yeah, you can get to the playoffs with that, especially if you have a good team. But bro, if you get stomped in the playoffs and you just throwing balls up all the time, they get intercepted. Being good at second half of the season, being a Toyota-thon person, it's only going to get you so far, bro. It's not going to get you to a Super Bowl. That's the way I see it. I want to see him put together a full season. I've even heard people say Jordan Love only had 1 good year. Bro, he had half of a season, not a good year. He had a good half of a season, because that first half of the season he was not good. So he didn't have one good year. He had one good half season. So like I want to believe the hype because I do like Love, but let's be real, man. He hasn't put together a full season, and like that's what I want to see this year. I want to see a full season. No more coming out flat. If you get beat by a better team, hey, we'll swallow that. But hey, come to play, bro. Come to play, and not just him, the whole squad, bro. The whole squad.
Yeah, no. Like I said,
But
I'm not going to take too much stock into seeding. Yes, of course, you always want that number one seed or top 4 seeds or whatever. But if we get into the playoffs and we go on a run and at least get to the end,
yeah,
I'm like we got to make it to the NFC Championship this year. That's me. That's we got to make it to the NFC Championship this year. I'm tired of doing this one and done or win a playoff wild card round, whatever. Like we've seen that already. I think you texted me earlier that being the youngest team in the NFL stuff has lost its value.
And I think it has because we're starting to see that, getting to the playoffs, yeah, that's a good thing. But we're starting to see the issues that come with being too young, the drops, the no leadership on the field, no accountability from anyone. Like it's just like a whole bunch of youngins playing football. And like there has to be some kind of leadership there. And I'll be honest, I don't think Love is a good leader. Maybe he's a little too young still. I don't know, but I would like to see him grab this team and be like, look, we are not coming out flat anymore. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna take the ball first. We're gonna go score defense, like And I'm not saying, hey, that's gonna happen every game. No, I'm not saying that. But like, let's see more of that. That's all I'm saying. Like, how many? Dude, I'm tired of Packers fans, and they're right. They're right. Oh, this is a trend. We don't come out swinging. Like we show up at halftime, and I'm like, dude, like. If you really believe that, you have to also accept the fact that it's not a Super Bowl team then, because Super Bowl teams don't come out flat, bro. They just don't. And I think we got to fix that, dude. Because like I say, Andrew, I agree with you. We a good team on paper. I think even talent wise, I mean, a lot of people are shitting on our receivers, and I get why, because they can't catch a fucking ball right now. But deep down, I think they can ball.
Yeah, I agree.
They can ball. They just gotta go show it. And LaFleur has to have the mindset, if you're not gonna show it, I'll find someone else who will. Like LaFleur has to have that mindset, because you can't waste too much time on someone who's not producing. No matter how much you believe in them, right? Like let them sit on the sideline, let them get their mind right, let them, because it's only them that's gonna make themselves better. You can try to encourage someone all you want, but if they're going to go out there and prove to you that they can't catch a ball, maybe it's time for them to sit down. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But I mean, like, are you going to? Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah,
and I think another issue is like there's times where the whole team is looking bad, right? Like, we started off the preseason with the penalty on the first special teams kick. Like we started off with a penalty. Then we had 3. I mean, we ended up at a 2nd and 30 because of 2 holding calls back to back or something like that. I don't know. I think one was an illegal shift. I can't remember. But it's just like, guys, like that has to stop, man. I mean, like in the huddle, we're saying on 1, on 2. I mean, you should know when to move, man. And like I get it. You're not gonna get it like 100% of the time, but like with Jacob Monk, if you're doing it 3 times in 2 drives, something's wrong. Something's wrong. You're not paying attention. Like your head is somewhere else, and that's where I'm like, okay, put someone else in there. I'm not saying Jacob Monk shouldn't go back in, but I'm saying like put someone else in there, like just for a drive or 2, and then throw in Monk. See, like but like I don't know, man. That's just me. What else? What else we got?
How do you think this defense is going to do? We talked about a lot about the offense, right?
Yeah.
How do you see this?
I think it's gonna be okay. Think about it. Hafley took our defense from 28th against the run to 8th, so that's not bad. The only thing I would like, what I was a little disappointed about, but like I said, I know it's 2nd and 3rd stringers. I think a lot of missed tackles in the preseason game, and then also Isaiah Simmons did not look like what people said he did.
Yeah,
he looked a little lost in coverage, and word on the street is he's supposed to start. So I did not see that from him. But my concern is if teams are smart, they'll run the ball towards Bo Melton. They'll if Melton's a starter at corner, which I don't think he will be, but if he might, um, but if he's a starter, I think teams would run towards his side, prove that he can tackle, because I think there's more to being a corner than just covering someone. I think you got to know how to tackle. And I did see a clip in the preseason where Bo Melton did make a good tackle, but he also missed tackles too. And my thing is, like, can you imagine Derrick Henry running full speed at Bo Melton? Yeah, good luck with that, bro. Good luck with that. That's my only concern on the defense is corner, if I'm being honest. I think there was times where we got to Fields in the backfield, but he just got away. And I think we got to finish that. But I like the pressure. I like the pressure.
That's my key. Like I think I told you this a couple days ago, or maybe a week or two ago. Corner, yeah, like we didn't. Like I said, we added Nate Hobbs. Keyshawn's going to be our quote unquote 1 or 2 or whatever you want to call them, right? Depending on what type of defense we're in, nickel or base, we might have Evan Williams and or Javon Bullard guarding the slot or whatever. I think that's what's going to help our corners is that we got that. What killed us last year was that pass rush, man. We could not get to the quarterback with 4, which I'm not saying you're going to have to get to the quarterback every time with 4, but we got to do it more consistently than we did last year. Hafley was having to draw up exotic blitzes to get any type of pressure on the quarterback last year. So I'm hoping you talk about Matt LaFleur and on his last straw, you're done with him, this and that. That's me with LVN right now. Like he's got to show me something. Like he's got to do something.
Yeah, I agree. He's a 13th overall pick. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. That's why I told you I would even be okay with shipping him out for Michael Parsons. I think, I told you I'd give up a first rounder, a second rounder, and LV and Lucas. Because I don't think he's proved to me that he's a first round pick as of right now. I think he's like another LaFleur. He has time to prove people wrong. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. He got to do something, bro. He got to. If he's a starter, he has to get 10 plus sacks. You're 13th overall, bro.
Yeah,
13th overall. You got to get 10 plus sacks, bro. And but like, let's look at Gary too. Gary only had 7.5 sacks last year. That's not good. That's not good.
It's not.
And I say it's not good because he got paid. He got paid. Lucas could probably get away with 7.5 sacks if you ask me, because I don't even think he had that last year either. I don't think. But then Lucas wasn't a starter. I think they had Preston for half of the year starting with Gary, and then Lucas started to get a little bit more reps. But I'll tell you, yeah, Preston got traded last year mid-season, didn't he?
Oh, was it last season? I thought it was the year before. Maybe, yeah.
They might have. No,
I don't remember.
No. It was last season because remember he wanted out because of Hafley's new defense. It was last season.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah. But Ina Barre too is looking nice.
Yeah. I mean, he looked good last season. He was one of the, I think, the bright spots coming off the bench last season. Yeah, Nick Barre. Yeah, like I said, they just got to be able to get some type of pressure with just sending 4, because we can't blitz every single time. So to get pressure, and I think that will help the corners. The secondary. I think that will.
So here's what I say. Like, okay, because I told you my biggest concern is the corners, and if you think about it, if we look at the depth chart as corners, it's Hobbs, Valentine. Now you got Valentine, so you got a little bit more depth. Well, hold on. Before I continue, what happened to Valentine? Did the Colts just cut him?
I have no idea. I just saw that we got him back. I don't know.
Yeah, because he signed with the Colts earlier, like a little bit before the draft, and then all of a sudden he's back. So, but so you got Valentine, Hobbs, K9, and Melton. That's 5. 2 of those 5 are people who volunteer to be cornerback, K9 and Bo Melton. So if you really think about it, we only have 3 true cornerbacks. So that's why it's my concern. Now, K9 has held his own, but and how many teams would he be a QB1 or a CB1, not QB1? Probably not a lot. I mean, I would have to go look at the rosters and see, but
Yeah.
I don't got time to do that right now. But odds are he probably wouldn't be a CB1 in more than half of the league. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. I have to go look. But so for me, Andrew, like I agree with you to a certain point, where the pass rush is gonna depend on how they perform, and I do agree on that. But also, Evan Williams and McKinney staying healthy. If one of them does not get healthy, and you throw a Zane Anderson in their spot or a Bullard in their spot, these corners are gonna have to play better. With Evan and McKinney, they can afford to like not have to play like
Lockdown.
yes,
Yeah.
because Evan and McKinney, especially McKinney, can cover a lot of ground. So and I think Evan is a very good safety. If he could just stay healthy, he is a very good safety, and they will help this secondary, but they have to stay healthy, and along with the pass rush. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I
I
think
mean, you got to think about it too. Quay hadn't even playing practicing this offseason yet.
yeah.
He's coming back from injury or from his little surgery or whatever. So
Well,
I think Quake's got to have a big year again too. I think he's got to be good.
This is his make or break year.
Yeah.
This is a year where the Packers are going to say we either want to keep you or not. So it just depends. Do I think he's done enough? Yes, but I don't think he's better than Cooper.
Yeah, I think Cooper's gonna. Yeah, just based off the sample size last year from Edrin. Yeah, I mean Quay had a good season last year, from what I'm remembering.
He's a tackling machine, bro.
Yeah, it's just it was what was it, a few of his reads out of the holes.
Yeah.
Kind of got him a little bit right.
Yeah. And also, Andrew, I don't know if you noticed this in the preseason game. I realized a lot of dump offs in the middle of the field were wide open for the Jets. That's a linebacker issue, bro. That's a linebacker issue. And then I'm like, dude, why the fuck was it like that? And then I see the tape on Isaiah Simmons. He just lost, bro, in coverage. He doesn't know where to go.
Yeah, no, I saw a couple of clips of his. I was like, ew.
Yeah, so that I was like, dude, that's way too easy. Like they were running like little 5-yard curls like in the middle of the field, and no one was near them. Like they would catch it and then maybe pick up another 4 yards because no one's around them. And I'm just like, yeah, that's a linebacker issue, bro. That's straight up linebacker. So yeah, we'll see, man. That our linebackers got to get better in coverage for sure.
For sure.
I mean, I think they're fast enough too. Maybe not lined up against running backs, but I mean that we don't have slow linebackers. I don't feel like they're slow.
No.
I think like they're like maybe if all of our linebackers had McDuffie speed, I'd be like, okay, we need someone fast. But I think Cooper and Quay are pretty.
They're quick to the ball for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, sure. So anything else on the defense?
No, that like I said, when we get Quay back, like I said, I hope when Nate Hobbs and Xavier McKinney should be back for the season 1 start, so we should be good there. I think this defense is going to take another step. I think another year under this Halfley scheme, they should be locked and loaded, ready to go.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I don't think the defensive line coach was the issue, but I'm very curious to see how we are with the new defensive coach, line coach. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a change, so we'll see how his coaching style differs from the last one. Also, I don't know if you saw that they've been all season or training camp. They've been practicing trying to punch the ball out, right? And even Halfley kind of said that he was disappointed that all that work so far in training camp punching the ball out, and they couldn't create
a turnover.
So he was kind of disappointed in that. So interested to see, like I said, once everybody's in there, healthy starters, how many turnovers we can. I mean, because we were a turnover machine last year as far as interceptions. but didn't really create too many
That,
fumbles. But
that is one thing in the beginning of the season we didn't come out flat against. Like our defense came out hot with turnovers starting since the beginning.
yeah. So, and it was like I said, it was mainly interceptions. But if we can add the fumble to the turnover situation, I think we'll be. Like I said, I'm this season. I'm going into a lot of seasons. I'm always the skeptic. I'm always like, I don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know how this is going to play out. This season, for whatever reason, especially after the draft, I was like, this season is going to be a good one. So
and
I hope
I think you got to take advantage of this season. Detroit, 2 new coordinators, don't know what to expect. A big question mark at quarterback for the Vikings, even though JJ McCarthy does look nice. I'll admit he does. And then a new head coach in Ben Johnson in Chicago, and they lost Keenan Allen. So their best receiver is DJ Moore, followed by Rome Odunze. Like right now is the perfect opportunity to take the North back. Like, because your only issue should be cornerbacks. It shouldn't be drops. Like, we got to get past that, bro. It shouldn't be penalties. We got to get past that, bro. So, like, my thing is, like, we are the ones who should have the least amount of question marks. But after our first preseason game, we still dealing with drops. We still dealing with penalties. So, I mean, that if we don't win the division, bro, that's what's going to hold us back, bro. Not that we're not the best team in the division, because I feel like right now other teams are trying to figure out new things. Like they're trying to bring in Ben Johnson, JJ McCarthy, a new quarterback. The only thing that the Lions and the Vikings have still going for them is their roster. The roster is still talented. I think they still have talented rosters. And then the Bears, they have a first round overall at quarterback. So I mean, they all still got something going for them, but I do think they have the biggest question mark. So I think like right now is the time to take the North back, man.
Oh no, for sure. This is our opportunity, and we should do it. Going into the Jordan Love era, I was telling people, or people that I talked to about Packers football, was I'm not. Yes, Jordan Love's first year making the playoffs, beating the Cowboys, cool. Yes, next year or last year making the playoffs, of course losing to the Eagles or whatever, cool. This is the year, though. I always said the first 2 years I wasn't really. All that was extra for me personally. Like that, making the playoffs was extra. I wasn't expecting playoffs the first 2 years, to be honest with you.
So let me ask you this. Well, hold on. I want to touch on our defensive line real fast. The reason why I don't think it's a defensive line coach issue, I think, and I'm not even for sure yet, Andrew, but I think it could be just a player issue, because Preston started on our team, but then when he got traded to the Steelers, he didn't even start. And then on top of that, after the season, he got released. So if he's not good enough to rush the quarterback on the Steelers and then they just release him, but he was a starter on the Packers and he probably still would have been a Packer if nothing went bad. Maybe it's just a player issue, man. Maybe we need, and that's why I was a little upset that we didn't go out and get a defensive end, not necessarily in the draft, but with our cap space. I was like, bro, that's why I'll be honest. Like, I'm not against not getting Micah. Like, I'm actually for it, but I don't think you should break the bank for him either. As far as like draft picks, don't break the bank with draft picks. Like, give up a Lucas. That way you don't have to give up enough draft picks. But I do think we're maybe a player away on the defensive line for where kind of like you said with Micah, it's a guaranteed Super Bowl. I wouldn't jump on that train, but I agree. We're 10 times better, bro. I agree. So, yeah. I mean, like I said, hopefully this new coach, though, he has some good things to come in with them. But like I said,
if we get Micah, dude, on that one side, I think that opens up stuff for Rashawn, and Rashawn could be Rashawn from the old. I think that's the issue. I think at the moment, I think Rashawn's getting chipped and double team, and he might. I don't know. He might not be as good as these top pass rushers, right? Or he's not as good as these top pass rushers. So him being chipped and double team and stuff is slowing him down compared when he wasn't getting double team before and making those great plays before he got paid, right? So I think if we do add, like you said, if we did add that elite pass rusher, not only is that elite pass rusher going to give us the the stats, the sacks and stuff like that, but he's also going to open up the other side for Rashawn to, I think, where Rashawn get back to where he was before he got that contract.
And like, when Sean does get double teamed, it does open up the alley for Cooper and Quay. And I think Cooper and Quay got a fair amount of sacks. But like, my thing is kind of like what you said, you want to get there with 4, right? I'd rather have Cooper and Quay as a spy against the Eagles than rushing Jalen Hurts, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, like I said, and then Hendrickson on the Bengals, he hasn't even been signed yet, right? Mm-hmm. He hasn't been extended. And, dude, that guy has 17.5 sacks last year?
Yeah.
And I don't know if the Packers have made an offer. Maybe they have. It just wasn't a good offer. I don't know, but yeah.
No, well, I think he's still technically under contract with the Bengals. He just wants an extension. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of okay. So I had a question on Love. If Love has another season where he's battling injuries, would you still defend him? If he has like the same season as last year?
Depends on what type of injuries. Like can you give me an example? Like, what do you mean battling injuries?
Like
another knee injury?
Yeah, let's just say that, I guess.
So if he has another knee injury,
and he goes out there and he could still play, but he's not as mobile, kind of like last year.
So I would hope the Packers and Matt LaFleur would have learned from last season and just rest him as long as he needs. So, because I think what the question you're probably getting at would you rather have an injured Jordan Love or just bring Malik Willis in to start on your team? Is that kind of where you're getting at?
Well, also, I'm kind of not really where I'm trying to get is if Love doesn't have a good year this year with 1 year left on his contract, what are you doing? What are you doing with him? You still trusting him long term?
Does he have one more year after this year? I thought he
signed.
He signed last year.
Oh,
he just signed last year.
He'll have 2 more years.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, you got to stay with him.
Like, so you're extending him after 4 years if he has a bad year this year?
What do you mean extended him? They've already extended him.
No, yeah, but it's only for 4 years. I'm saying
right, from last year.
Like okay, if he has a bad year this year, are you still saying after 2 years we're still gonna keep him long term, or are you saying, well, let's?
Oh, you're talking about like after his contract?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. No, they're not gonna extend him early. Hell no.
Well, because they already extended him last year, so he still has 3 more years.
They're not gonna re-extend him early, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So after this year, I mean, to be honest with you,
let me ask a better question. What does Love have to do in the next 3 years for you to say, I want this guy for his whole career? Like if he gets 7th and 6th seed for the next 3 years, what are you doing?
At that point, they probably need to start drafting another quarterback.
Okay. So when are you doing that though?
Shit, I don't mean that's
I think that's what's tough. I think that's what I don't know. Like if he has a tough year this year, are you drafting one already?
No.
Okay. I would be okay with the no there. I would be okay with it. I'd be a little shocked if they do draft one though, but here's the thing. I wouldn't put it past the Packers, bro. I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah. No, if he, like you said, if he goes out and has a bad year because of either one injury or just two of his play, I don't think they do it, but I wouldn't be for it. I would be like, I mean, This is the guy, y'all. I mean, and this is where it kind of comes to your point about Brian and I guess Matt, if Matt had anything to do with it. This is the guy you wanted. This is the guy you wanted to replace Aaron Rodgers. You got to stick with him now.
Well, like, it wasn't Matt that wanted him. It was Love. I mean, not Love. It was Gutekunst.
Gutekunst, right? But I'm sure Matt. They've talked. I mean, they were talking about it.
But do you feel like Matt really shares? In my opinion, Matt should share everything he wants for his football team, but I don't think he does. Like
I think he does.
You think he does?
I think every NFL coach does that with their GM. I think
I definitely do think they should, but like they asked LaFleur in a recent interview. They said, "Hey, do you want the Packers to go out and get you a defensive end?" And he said, "Yes, of course I do." And we didn't see it. So I mean, I'm not saying Gutekunst bows down to whatever LaFleur wants because we know that's not true. But like it makes me wonder, like, are you really telling Gutekunst, "Hey, go get me a defensive end," and then Gutekunst is just telling you no? Do you think that's
I don't think he's saying no. I think Gutekunst is listening. Like Matt's like, "Hey, yeah, we could use a defensive end," and Gutekunst is probably like, "Oh yeah, we probably do." But let's see, because Gutekunst has a plan itself, and his draft people, his scouts have a plan on their own. So I'm assuming they're like, well, these are the positions we think we need to fill. So
because the only reason why I say I don't think he is telling them everything is because Gutekunst wasn't upfront with Rodgers. Rodgers had no idea they were going to draft Love. That's an issue, bro. Rodgers should know that. And that's why I say, like, I think they don't tell each other everything. And then you have an angry Rodgers, like, oh, I didn't even know we're going to do that. You know, like I thought we were one piece away from the Super Bowl. And that's when Rodgers was like, fuck my 3-year contract. I want out. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know, but
yeah, no, I mean, if Jordan, like I said, going back to your original question, if Jordan goes back, doesn't have a bad year, like I said, barring injury, I don't think they draft the quarterback this offseason in the drafts. I think it's going to take another 2 years or so, minimum.
I thought he only had 2 years, but you're right. He has another 3.
Yeah. So, but yeah, these are all hypotheticals. So, because we're going to come out this season hot. I'm feeling it, man. Like I said, this is one of the years I'm feeling it, and I could be completely wrong, but I don't know for whatever reason. Because I think, to be honest with you, I think Matthew Golden's going to be a stud, man.
See,
I watched him a lot because we watch a lot of Texas YouTube football here. So I watched a lot of them at Texas, and I liked him. And he was one of the people I was like, I want him on the Packers. Even during college football, I was saying
that. The way you're feeling today, that it's going to be our year, that's how I felt last year. And I think it would have happened if Love didn't get hurt, man. But
yeah, no.
I was feeling last year. How you were saying you feel concerned about previous years. This is my only year where I'm feeling a little concerned. I have not felt concerned since 2018, probably. Like since every year I thought like, hell yeah, we gonna at least get to the NFC shit, bro.
Yeah, the NFC championship, yeah. So that's how I feel. This is how I'm feeling this year. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it might be NFC championship or like that's my level of right because getting to the Super Bowl is hard, right? Like everybody's dream is everybody's aspiration is to get to the Super Bowl, but actually getting there it's hard. So we got to be.
What got me mad about the way LaFleur called that last minute and 49 seconds against the Bears, what got me mad about that was, bro, you had a 5th seed on the line if you just win that game. And your 5th seed would have meant you would have gone to Tampa, which was very winnable. And then after that, you would have gone to Detroit, which is a rival game, which is very winnable. And then after that, you might have had to face the Eagles in the NFC Championship. But instead, you start out the playoffs in Philly. And I'm just like, dude, it could have been avoided. It could have been avoided if you would just time manage that better. And like that's my issue. Like you're hurting the team, bro. You're hurting the team at the end of the day. and you're forcing them to go into Philly, which, don't get me wrong, I don't think we played bad, but we had a lot of mistakes in that game. Yeah, I'm surprised it ended 22-10. It should have been 10 times worse, but we lost Andrew. Chat.
My bad. It got kicked out.
Okay, he's back.
Yeah,
but
I'm back.
But like I said, that's in the past. But I'll be honest. As of right now, I am off the train, and especially if he has bad time management, bad use of timeouts, bad play calling, and on top of that, if we just start losing games, bro, like, yeah.
No, like I said, I'm not gonna. I'm waiting on this preseason. I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, give me week one. So let me see how we look week one, how we start off week one, and then I will tell you my real, like, okay, Matt might be on the hot seat, or Matt, like, no, we're good, or whatever the case would be.
And I think what's saving Matt is like I think what's saving Matt is some of his stats. Like, he's the most winningest coach since he started.
Yeah,
in the NFL, he's the most winningest coach, which is not a bad stat. But if you're the most,
you got to get it done in the postseason, though, too.
Yeah.
Like, what is his postseason record?
I'm only gonna look that up because I actually want to know too. I think it's I would guess it's under 500.
I would have guessed that too.
Yeah, he's 3-5.
Yeah, and a lot of those came that one was 3-5. Really? Well, I guess so, because that one year he went to the NFC Championship against Tampa Bay.
He beat Seattle in a divisional round.
So he should have more than
he beat the Cowboys.
He beat the Cowboys.
And then he didn't win last year. 2019, he got to the NFC Championship. He should have more, no?
That's what I thought. Well, I was thinking that 2019 was his 2 wins, or unless they only had 1 win. Because if they were the division winners, they probably only played a divisional game.
I have it here for you, Andrew. So in 2019 was his first year, right?
I believe so.
Okay, so we had a bye, and then we won against the Seahawks in the NFC round, and then we lost to the Niners in the championship. In 2020, we had another first-round bye, and then in the divisional round, we beat the Rams and then lost to Tampa Bay. So that's already 2-2.
Yeah.
In 2021, that's when they had the block punt. The Niners beat us 13-10. So
in the first round.
Yeah, we had another bye, but that was the divisional round. So that's 2-3. And then 2023, we beat the Cowboys 3-3, and then but lost to the Niners 3-4. And then last year against the Eagles, we lost. So yeah, 3-5.
3-5. Yeah, that's crazy. I forgot because one year we missed the playoffs with them.
Yeah, 2020.
The year Detroit beat us last game. Like Aaron or Devontae's last game, I think it was.
So you could say his playoff is 3-6 because that was a playoff game. We would have made the playoffs.
Yeah,
if we won.
3-5 in the postseason, not the best. Yeah. And
honestly, if it's under 500, but you got a Super Bowl ring, I mean, you can get away with that. But no Super Bowl rings. It kind of seems like he's beating the teams that are just barely making the playoffs, just like us. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good stat to be the Packers head coach long term. I don't think that's a good stat, but I mean, like I said, like I like the guy, but man, I gotta see more, dude.
Yeah. You got anything else? You got anything else? My phone is about to die, and my charger isn't.
Unless you have something else, we can wrap it up. We've been going for an hour and a half. I kind of felt like we were gonna go for an hour and a half, but I think we got a lot in.
I'm good.
I'm streaming on Saturday. I don't know if you want to join. It's another preseason. Supposedly he's not starting starters, so probably won't matter.
Yeah. All right.
But all right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. But all right, Andrew. Let me end the stream real fast.